So what we're going to do is we're going to create our graphs. And so we're going to graph this as if this was an equal sign, even though it's an inequality. So let's go ahead and erase that. So I'm going to graph this. I'm going to start at -4. So this first one is going to be a -4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then it has a slope of 2. So I'm going to go up 2 and over 1. And so I have my line. Now the inequality, inequality, it doesn't have a line underneath it, so we can't have a solid line. So I'm going to erase, so it's a dotted line, basically I've created. But the inequality also means we're going to need to shade a particular side. So to do this, we're going to put in, and I'm going to put this point 0, 0 into the equation. And so if I put 0 in and 0 minus 4, because 0 times 2 is 0, and I look and see if this equation is true. Is 0 bigger than -4? And it is. Since this point right here is true, we're going to shade that side of the line. So we're going to shade this side of the line because that point is true. If it were false, we would shade on the other side of the line. So there is our red line. So let's do the other equation. I'm going to do this in blue. So I'm going to go to 3. I want to erase this part right here. There we go. And so I'm going to go to positive 3, 1, 2, 3 right here. And -1/2 is really the same thing as 1/2. Or 0.5 is the same thing as 1/2. So I'm going to go down 1 and to the right 2. And there's a line underneath, so I'm going to make a solid line connecting those instead of a dotted. And now I want to put 0 into our equation. I'm going to put this point 0 into the equation and see if this is true. And so I'm going to, I've been writing the wrong inequality. It's a less than sign. So is 0 less than or equal to 3? And it is. So our shading part will be below this line. So it's going to be below this line. So it's going to include that dot. So I'm shading. And where the red and blue cross, basically this corner area, is our answer to our problem. So intersecting regions is the answer. So where they intersect is our answer to our graph. All right, so we're going to graph this equation. I'm going to graph it in red. So I'm going to go to 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I put my dot. And I have a slope of 1, so I go up 1 to the right 1. It's a solid line, so I'm going to draw my solid line. And now I'm going to shade, but I'm going to put in 0 for, oops, this is inequality, for each of the letters. So is 0 bigger than 5? It is not. This is false. So this point cannot be part of the graph. So I'm going to shade away. I'm going to shade away from the 0. So I'm shading away. And then that, so now I'm going to do the other graph. I go to -4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I have a slope of 1, so I go up 1, right 1, and it's a dotted line because there's no line underneath. And in this case, I want to put 0 in, so 0 less than -4. And that happens to be false also. So my shading part needs to be away from 0. So I'm going to go away from 0. And now if you look at these regions separate, so there's no intersecting. So this is separate regions. So there's nothing to intersect. So there's really no solution. It's just that separate regions.